Good luck to both teams, and I'll send it to Poppy and Bayarche.
Hey, it's Botany. We are back for the fourth game of the fourth place match of Eve and T Collides. Botany here with Bayarche. We have Warlords bringing the best tourney ship in the history of Eve tournaments. It is a double Scorpion Navy issue team, supported by a Vigil and 2 Maledictions to get that damage applied. Bay, tell us about that Hard Knocks team.
The reason that I ummed and ahed over whoever I wanted to win, I wanted the Warlords to win purely because I like 5-match episodes, but they've come up against the setup they didn't want to, and that is an all-rapid light missile probably team that in 2 Cerberuses, Caracal Navy issue, Flycatch aside, those frigates on the other team without logistics backing them up are going to have a really, really hard time.
Yeah, I mean, the Scorpion Navy's, like, if you don't you gotta nuke that side. It's only a T1 logi, so you should be able to do it, but it's gonna be a lot harder once all those frigs die. And the Hard Knocks team here is really friggin' good at killing frigates. We see damage already going onto the scythe. I mean, the thing here is that the Scorp Navies, if you double booster fit them, they just don't die until they run out of cap charges, which takes a long-ass time. We're seeing here the scythe already taking damage, and here we go, the Malediction of Planet 6 ripping through its shield.
Yeah, so the frigates did exactly the right thing and burned the hell away from these rapid light missile ships right to the side of the arena, which has drawn the Hard Knock ships through those battleships, which is making the scythe sweat, but looks like he's okay. The rapid light missiles, though, have caught one of those Maledictions and completely wiped him out. They've just caught the second one now, and the Vigil now taking damage. I think soon it's going to be 2 battleships versus 5 ships.
Yeah, I mean, look at that side though. If that side goes down, then the Scorpion Navy should be able to tank. Vigil now, yep, it goes down as well. The Rapid Light of the Sirs, the Cow Navy, doing their job. I'm not sure if they'll still be able to kill this third frig before they need to reload. Looks like they're just about managing it. But these Scorpion Navies really need to kill this side before their reload's down. It's going down a lot slower than they would have hoped.
Yeah, and I think without any web or scram on him, I think he's going to be okay. He's just kind of using speed to mitigate a lot of the damage. The Warlords, the deep team, was totally going to rely on the webs from the Malediction and the Painter from the Vigil, obviously. That Malediction's about to disappear, I think, although it doesn't look like he's getting hit too much. That means that the rapid light missile ships are on reload. I think, though, having said the side actually taking an absolute hammering. I'm not sure he got neutered there or tackled, but he's going to disappear very shortly.
He just hasn't been moving. He's been doing like 300, 400 meters a second the whole match, and there he goes. Now all the Scorpion Navies do have to tank and slowly kill these cruisers, because they can do a massive, massive local tank. As I said, double booster, resist bonus, battleship EHP. This Mali can run around forever. The Scorpion Navies just have to kill a few things, and then even if they don't kill everything, just win on points and just take it to a really long game. We've got damage already going onto Boomdock in the Scorpion Navy. He's tanking fine for now, and it looks like the Flycatcher is in fact going to be the first target of the Scorpion Navy's. Interesting choice in my opinion. It's got the smaller tank, but it's a lot easier for it to mitigate DPS than the Serbs, and especially the Caracal Navy issue.
Yeah, I think without that scythe, this match could go the other way. The rapid light missile ships, you're right, will really struggle to take down these Scorp Navy issues because they're going to hit that reload, and the Scorp Navy issue is going to boost their shield back up. So I think you're right. I think this might actually go to points. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Cerberuses kite out the rest of the match, but not actually be able to kill the Scorp Navies. Having said that, they are getting Boondock down to 64% shield now, and they have lost just about to lose a Flycatcher though, and he's gone.
Yeah, Boomdock just chilling at a good recharge rate. He's just boosting as and when he needs to. Totally relaxed. Everything's fine. Caracal Navy probably going to be the next primary here because it doesn't get the MWD Sig Bloom reduction of the Serb. It's still a great ship. Not quite as good as the Serb for obvious reasons. Less points as well. But yeah, Caracal Navy, starting to take damage. I'm just frankly amazed that this Malediction has managed to stay alive for so long. He's just stayed the hell away from everything.
Yeah, absolutely. the Scorpion Navy issues have got target painters, and they are putting on that Caracal Navy issue now. It doesn't have the MWD Sig Bloom bonus, so if it goes slow, it dies. If it goes fast, it dies. The Sig Bloom. So it's kind of in a tough spot, and I think it's definitely going to die without that scythe.
Yeah. Caracal Navy issue slowly going down here, mitigating damage as best he well can. But it's, with no Logi on the field, these Scorpion Navies will overcome his inherent recharge. It's not going to be locally tanked going down into armor now. And this is just going to be a slow rundown of the Hard Knocks team for the Scorpion Navies, either to finish them off or to win on points when we go to time. Looking at the local now, I'm not sure how much time we've got left. How long is time on a full match, Bay?
It's 10 minutes long, the full match. I think we've got plenty of time. It kind of feels like there was a lot of action at the beginning. We're going to see the rest of the match play out quite slowly. The Caracal Navy issue, he's doing his best to stay alive, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Those cruise missiles slowly coming in, hammering him one after the other. We have got confirmation from Logibro and Local that the Vigil, in its eagerness to escape the rapid light missiles of the Hard Knocks team, just went directly out of the arena at the beginning, so that cannot have been helpful. Hoodie Mafia now in the Cerberus taking a hammering. It's going to be really, really hard for Hard Knocks to bring this match back. I don't think they can do it. What do you think, Impothany?
Yeah, no, this just showing the clear supremacy of the Scorpion Navy issue as the ultimate tournament spaceship.
Definitely. Hoodie Mafia slowly losing damage. I mean, he's got that MWD bloom reduction, and he's got 2-2 resists. So it's going to take them a while to kill this Cerberus, even though they've got way more damage than he should be able to handle. He's dropping slow now. This Malediction just staying way out the fight the whole time, which is interesting. They're obviously aware of losing points could be an issue here. He's actually just catching missiles from the Serbs, just trying to claim a few more points before they get up. No, Hoodie's down. This match is effectively over.
Yeah, one last Cerberus to burn down. But what about the 2-2? I mean, Warlords really just kind of bringing it back, swinging from the fences, going back in. There are boxing and wrestling metaphors that I'm probably murdering. I'll leave that to the Americans, who kind of understand that sport a lot better than I do. But yeah, I mean, really great showing here. Warlords coming back to bring it back to 2-2. I'm super excited to see what setups these teams bring for their fifth and final deciding match of the day, as this Serb finally slowly drops.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting. Warlords actually, I think, are in a really strong position here. They've still got the Sleipnir setup left, which I think Suetonia will probably tell you statistically has a really, really high win rate, and they've still got that in their back pocket because they lost it on their first match. But it means that they can bring it back again. So that's going to make Hard Knocks a little bit nervous. Hard Knocks have got the Brutic Navy issue set up left. They've got the Guardian Typhoon set up left. And they've got the Aneros. Sorry, they haven't got the Astartes set up left, forgive me. So they're going to be quite nervous because I think the Sleipnir setup could probably take both of those.
And with that, I will forcefully bring it back to the studio.
The new high-performance Rig 500 headset from Plantronics is designed to match the skills of an aspiring esport player with the gear they need to win. The new modular system gives you the power to adapt, upgrade, and personalize your headset for the task at hand. The Rig 500 series of gaming headsets are engineered to deliver the perfect combination of durable lightweight comfort in an immersive audio environment. 7.1 surround sound and 24-bit audio provide a stunning 360-degree sound field with directional audio. 40mm drivers with low-frequency resonators provide crisp highs and boosted bass. Clear voice noise cancelling technology provides clear communication to your teammates. From the headset company that equips the pros, the 500 series was crafted to meet the needs of esports and competitive players around the world. The new Rig 500 series of headsets from Plantronics. Respect the training. Reactions win.
Oh, they brought it back, boys. They brought it back. We're going. All 5 games are going to be played. That's exactly what we like to see. That's why we love this Conquest format. No matter how dominant it looks in the beginning, it evens itself back up towards the end. All right. So the last question that we asked was, what is the name of the smallest citadel? And you guys actually all got it right. So screw you. It's the Astrahus, and that's exactly how it's probably supposed to be pronounced. I don't know. Whatever. Don't judge me. Final question, going into the final match, you guys can answer in Twitch chat for EveBet codes. The first 10 correct answers get it right. How many members make up a full Council of Stellar Management? This question might seem easy, but the CSM's own Nash Cadaver managed to get it wrong, in fact. He got it wrong by a pretty wide margin, in fact. Pretty impressive. Good stuff.
I still can't believe he thought there were 53 members on the Council for Stellar Management.
Yeah.
Just seems like such an odd number.
Maybe that's the only way he thought he could get on, but no, definitely less
Wait,
than 53.
I won? They must be taking everybody on this. Yeah, I can't say blame him.
All right, well, thanks for everything, for the sponsors and everything. You guys have just been watching their vids. We're gonna send it back to Squeebles, so they're gonna talk about how this game went to 5, or how this series went to 5 matches.
Yeah, how the fuck did this series go to 5 matches? Definitely the Conquest format has a lot to do with it, and I think it was Bay that said, now is when the Conquest format really becomes potent, because going into this last match, there's a very small selection of ships on both sides. Both teams, again, at the beginning of this series, after the bans were taken care of, they only had access to 5 compositions. They've each won 2 matches. So now they each only have 3 compositions they can choose from. So in the great wide world of metagaming and planning and strategizing, as George Bush probably said at some point, it gets a lot easier, which is not to say the discussion gets a lot simpler, but now as opposed to facing all of Eve for a comp, they only have 3 things that they can see fielded against them on both sides. So it seems like there now might be an advantage for one team over the other, and that's something we'll talk about here in a minute. Really, really nice job by Warlords of the Deep. Happy to see it go to 5 matches, definitely, because we did not expect it to go that way after those first 2. And the popularity contest, still ongoing. Hard Knocks, love you a lot. The Hard Knocks team still winning in the popularity contest by a small margin. But I expect, as with all things, after Warlords, assuming they do win it, suddenly those numbers will balance, because the Twitch chat is a bunch of reactionary cowards. I said it. That's how I feel about you all. So let's talk about what happened in that match. let's start off by talking about a ship that has a huge impact on tournaments and has, especially the Alliance tournament this year. And we haven't seen it as much this year in the Collides format, and that's the Scorpion Navy issue, and hopefully we can get that brought up on screen. Apothing was very enthusiastic, but also he died, unfortunately, at the end of the last match, so he's not here to discuss it. But Suetonia, why is this beefcake of a hull so awesome?
Well, it has a resistance bonus. It also has a damage. It has like really good. It has a really good tank. Has a really good slot layout, and it has a utility high as well with a decent drone bay. So it's very good in sort of turtle setups. You can also fit it very aggressively. Like you can fit like a lot of damage mods while still being really tanky. Especially if you have a Logi. They didn't actually have a Logi in this setup, but they had like a really strong active tank, especially in the 5v5 format where there's like a limited amount of DPS that can be fielded. And especially since the Hard Knocks team had a very inconsistent DPS since they had rapid lights, and especially once their ships started dying off, they just couldn't break through the like really strong like turtle tank that the Scorpion Navy issue has.
And along with the Scorp Navy issue having an absolutely massive tank, it is a missile boat, as you see there from the bonuses. 4% bonus to all shield resistances, which references the tank you talked about. But then also the launcher rate of fire. So 5% per level, which is a 25% total if you have level 5, and I'm sure all the pilots involved here do, which I don't remember because I'm not this guy, but Suetonia, yell at me if I'm wrong, but a 25% rate of fire increase is actually a 33% DPS increase. Is that right?
Yeah, you're correct, because 1
Okay.
divided by 0.75 is 1.333.
Somebody said that to me, and of course, my just the way I choose to live my life, my first reaction is like, "You're so stupid. That's wrong." And I shouted them out of corp comms, and then I realized later what they were trying to explain, and I still haven't admitted it. So I want to take this opportunity to say, "I'm sorry. You were right, and this is why I'm never on our Alliance tournament teams." So the Scorpion Navy issue, obviously they anchored that comp, but they had 3 frigates in there. God have mercy on those frigate pilots. As soon as they saw the Hard Knocks team landing with all those rapid light missiles, these guys are experienced, but so I'm sure they still have a little bit of gall to get out there and do their jobs. But you just have to know, okay, start the stopwatch. We'll see who dies first, but we're all gonna die. Or is there a case where those frigates could have survived, Bay, against all that rapid light missile pressure?
I think they're always going to be under a lot of pressure, like you say. I think that they did the right thing by running away straight away to try and force the Serbs, the Navy Caracal in across those battleships. I think that the malediction proved that they didn't have to all die in a fire because he just basically spent the whole time running away. Were they going to be that useful in this match? I don't think so, no, because the second they go in for the tackle, the Hard Knocks team are just going to prime them, and with no Logi on the field, they're just going to disappear straight away.
Just to clarify, saying they wouldn't be that useful in this match is purely just because of what they were up against, right? Obviously, those frigates in another context would have been really helpful, right, in supporting those Scorpion Navy issues. Or do you disagree?
Yeah, in another context, definitely. I think the cruise missiles from the Navy Scorpion will struggle to apply against cruisers that are very tanky and afterburner. Like the best example is the armor logistics ships. They would have really struggled to do a lot of damage to those. So having the maledictions there in their back pocket to basically dart in and get extra webs and extra scrams on the primary. They're kind of like suicide frigates, I guess, for that situation where the Navy Scorpions wouldn't be able to apply damage without the webs. And for that role, they're great.
So an interesting happening in that match that the commentating team touched on was there was a boundary violation of the Vigil. We're just going to pull up the Vigil real quick on screen for anybody not familiar with it. It's a Mimitar Tech 1 electronic warfare frigate with the target painting bonus, which is why we talked about it's so important in amping up the damage from those missile boats like the Scorpion Navy issues, Typhoons, Bargus as well. The Vigil actually boundary violated, so he flew outside of the allowable range of the arena, got instantly explodified by the tournament utility, which is awesome. Not that I want to put Fozzie out of a job, but it's great to see it just happen automatically. And that was a big hit. I think, as we just discussed, it was somewhat of an inevitability that he would die. But to go out like that before you can at least help amp up the damage from those Scorpion Navy issues a little bit, it seems like a bit of a shame. So, Suetonia, is that obviously they pulled it back with the Scorpion Navy issues, but how tremendous of an impact could that have had? I mean, could that have potentially swayed the match to lose those paints to a piloting error?
I think they had painters on the Scorpion Navy issues anyway. I mean, I think it was kind of a piloting error, but he was like primary. He was already like dying, so I mean,
Right.
he could have maybe painted for like an extra 5 seconds or something.
Gotcha. So it's just sort of you're backed into a corner, die now or die 5 seconds later. You don't think it really changed the course of anything?
No, I think he was going to die, and it was a piloting mistake for him to go outside the arena. But I mean, I don't think it had a huge impact on the match.
Gotcha. So Elise actually, I think, was the first person to point out the weapon systems on the Scorpion Navy issue. I think the original assumption, at least on Apotny's behalf, was that they were rapid heavy missile launchers, because that's what we saw earlier on the Bargast. It's a fairly common weapon system for a tournament setting, although Scorpion Navy issue being not super mobile, we do see a lot of cruises. So Elise, you noticed it earlier, you mentioned it. Why is it so important that those weren't rapid heavies?
So we were looking at the health of the Scythe, and the Scythe was the logi ship for the Hard Knocks team, and we were just like, oh, if it can just survive a little bit until these guys, until these Scorps get there and to reload, then the Scythe can run away a little bit and recharge, and he'll be fine. And I think that could be. I mean, obviously the Scythe figured this out pretty early on, but that's why he died essentially. There was nowhere in the arena that he could run where he would be safe. And the missiles just kept on coming over and over and over again. So he could have gone to the edge, and he would have gotten hit by those missiles anyways, and he would have instantly died. Or he would have died just as fast. But if they were rapid heavies, he could have just tanked the reload, run out to the arena edge, repped up a little bit, and then they could have. I don't want to say they could have won, but they could have done much better. They could have kited really effectively. Because as you mentioned, those Scorpion Navy issues, they are pretty much immobile. They just sat there with no prop mod, no nothing.
Yeah, and that brings me to my next point, which was the T1 Logic Cruiser. It's not a ship class that we've seen very often in the tournament, really in any tournament context. The T2 Logistics, as a general rule, have really high resistance profiles, given that they are T2 hulls. They're typically fairly mobile, especially in the case of the Scimitar. But they're just sort of beefy. They can really absorb things like logistics drones. Those reps mean quite a bit when being applied to the T2 resist profile of a T2 logistics hull. But T1 not so much. They're actually quite fragile by comparison. Hugely popular on Tranquility for supporting small gang, low SPE logistics pilots, sort of a my first rep ship experience. Very affordable, really quite potent, especially for what you're paying. And in this context, they cost less points and less ISK, although we're on the test server, so ISK is a non-object. But is it ever the right decision to bring a T1 Logic Cruiser? Because I don't recall a scenario where I felt like it was the best possible investment of points. Bay, is there an option there where they could have just completely foregone Logi and gotten the same results? Or is there a way they could have rung some of those points back in off the DPS cruisers and upgraded that side to a Scimitar?
I think the reason that Hard Knocks have got 3, T1 Logis in their setups is because we changed the points when the changes to logistics happened just for Christmas, I believe. They kind of weakened T1 Logis slightly in that the shield ones had to be a lot closer to rep now, and obviously putting T1 resists up close against hostiles is a dangerous position to be in. So me and Tony decided to lower the points of those slightly to 9, which obviously which is just frees them up a little bit more points in DPS and support. So I think Hard Knocks have gone for quite rounded setups using those T1 logistics. So they've got the 2 DPS, they've got the 2 tackle, and they've got logistics, as opposed to the kind of the sort of setup that Tuskers, where they've got 1 DPS, 2 tackle, a logistics, and 3 tackle rather. So it's kind of they're trying to spread the points around a little bit more and get more DPS for their money. Has it worked out for them? It's tough to say. I think that scythe proved that maybe no is the answer.
Yeah,
I mean, against that setup, I
it was
think even if he had a
well-piloted.
scimitar, it would have.
Excuse me, Elise, I'm hosting. Against that setup, I think you're right. No, but it was well piloted, and Elise, I'm happy to turn it over to you for that discussion because if you're that scythe pilot, how unhappy are you to see those Scorpion Navy issues in that context? I mean, what flexibility do you still have to keep yourself alive? Is there anything?
I think you're happy until you realize that the first missile that hits you is a cruise missile, and then you're like, oh, fuck, I'm dead. I'm dead. Screw this game. I'm done. I just call it quits. And so even if he was a scythe, I mean, possibly if he was in Oneros or something, he might have been able to tank it a little bit longer, but most likely he would have died. Like though that the Scorp Navy issue set up, they have tackle frigates for suicide. They have a vigil for paints. Like that guy was definitely he was dead no matter what ship he was in. And then that ship is actually like that setup is built to kill a logistics ship and then just survive on your massive EHP pool. So that's what the Scorp Navy issue setup does.
So now we should mention again this conquest format, and the reason that it's so zesty is because that that Scorp Navy comp can't come back out, right? They can't field that again. I hate to put anybody on the spot because we have so many pieces of information open already, but does anybody have the spreadsheet open where they could point out which 3 comps are still available on both sides? I'm really looking at Bay's name in TeamSpeak, hoping his
Well, I mean,
microphone
I
lights
have
up.
it open too.
Well, I guess we'll settle for Suetonia. Suetonia, can you just walk us through? I mean, especially, how about if you do the Hard Knock side and we trust Bay to pick out the Warlord setups remaining. So what does Hard Knock still have on their roster?
Okay, so Hard Knock still have the setup they just lost with, which was the 2 Cerberus, Flycatcher, Scythe, Caracal Navy issue. They didn't win with it, so they can still bring it again. That's the kiting rapid light setup. They also have a setup they haven't shown yet with the Brutix Navy issues, the Excura, Hecate, 2 Brutix Navy issues, and the Crucifier. And they have the Guardian comp that they brought earlier that lost to Warlords Bargus, which was Guardian, Typhoon, Brutix, 2 Punisher.
Gotcha. And Bay, do you happen to have the Warlords setups in front of you?
I do indeed. So Warlords have got more of the kind of like traditional command ship plus support setups. They've got the Sleipnir, Scimitar, double sweeper Stiletto, which is obviously a really, really strong setup. They've got Damnation and Neuros double Confessor Daredevil, which is kind of an armor version. Hard Knocks have one too. They use the Astarte. Warlords have got Damnation, which has a ton of EHP. And it has DPS that can't be neutered out, which is also useful. And also they have a Claymore, Curse, Gila, Burst setup, which is kind of a slight twist on the command ship setup. They have the bursts for logistics. They have a lot of damage application from the Gila, and also they have the E-War from the Curse. So I think they've got 3 of the kind of more favourite setups in front of them, whereas Hard Knocks are kind of using more unconventional ones for this final match.
Elise, did you manage to catch and retain the comps that were listed? At least some sense of them.
A little bit. I agree definitely with Bay that I think the Warlords team has an advantage going in. They also have teams that they're probably more comfortable flying. Something more traditional in the sense of archetypes that win setups or that win tournaments.
So, in your opinion, because this is something that you're really enthusiastic about, that I'm enjoying more and more as this season of NT Clydes has gone on, do you think what has happened here would have been at all possible without the Conquest format?
Yes and no. I mean, we've seen teams with really high caliber piloting and really just really solid leadership. We've seen them come back from a deficit and then win an alliance tournament before. We've seen the PL team come back and do that before. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I totally am just doing that right now.
Wait, you fly with PL?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
I mean, sometimes they don't let me, so they make me commentate, and so I don't have to die of shame. But before, I was really bad. Before, when I was good, I'm not good anymore. Before, when I was good, they let me fly on the team. Yeah, and PL has come back. They have come from the lower bracket. They've come back from a two-game deficit to win 3 in a row, and they've won an Alliance tournament that way. They won Alliance tournament 11 that way. And Warlords of the Deep have gone through similar lower bracket runs. It's something that teams with really seasoned pilots can do. And obviously, obviously, it's something that Warlords have done quite effectively here. But the thing is, in the Conquest format, it's something that we see. It's not an anomaly. It's something we see regularly. Teams getting an early advantage because they've used too strong setups early on. Then they get stuck with weaker setups, and the other team catches up. We actually even saw this in the Amar Championship. The Amar Championship won the 5 games, even though it looked so dominant early on for the Tash Merkin team.
Right. Yeah, I mean, definitely true. And you know, we keep emphasizing with good teams. And it's not to say that tournaments are an impossible barrier of entry. It's a very different style of EVE play, but it's great to have a format like this that really emphasizes how much the skill and forethought and perseverance of the pilots and the teams plays into it, because a less experienced team, probably wouldn't have made it this far into this series, or into this season rather, but also probably would have really struggled to bring it back. So congratulations to Warlords. It comes as no shock that they're able to do this, and we're excited to see it happen. Excuse me. Teams are just now taking the field, so it'll be a minute or two, and we'll be on field. This is match 5 in the best of 5 series for the semifinals of this entire season of EVE NT Collides. A lot of the faces and voices and everything that are here today, and so many more who aren't here today, have been following this whole thing since it started last year, early fall last year, something like that. And all these teams, I mean, the guys who are out here actually flying. So it's been a long road for these guys, and this will be their last match one way or another. So good luck to them both. And can we just get party arms in the stream chat to say great job to both of these teams, and say what a great series this has been, because this has seriously been awesome. So just spam the fuck out of the chat. And yeah, I mean, we're only a couple minutes away, so we've seen the comps. I don't even want to do predictions. I just want to, I don't know. I just want to hang out with you guys, just spend time together. No, but at least we have the finals tomorrow. Not to take away from these guys' last moments, but can you remind us who the finals are between tomorrow?
All right, so about that. No, the finals tomorrow are. Oh, I should know this actually, but I don't.
Tuskers
no, I
and
do.
Volta.
It's Tuskers and then Volta. I knew it.
Right.
I was just
Sorry.
kidding. So we get to see Starfleet Commander's team take on the Suleiman team. Tuskers are an incredible tournament team, not only in this format, but in the Alliance tournament. They've come down to the last 4, I think in the last 3 Alliance tournaments. So they're in the final weekend all the freaking time. And Volta, of course, they've won it before in Alliance Tournament 10. They won the Itanas. So these are like incredible caliber teams that are playing in the entire Collides format. Like every team that was selected to compete came from the top 10 of Alliance Tournament teams. Like they are the best of the best. That's why this is the most grueling format out there. If you guys watch this channel, you've seen our Fight Club series, which is a little bit more laid back. We had a Hyperion tanking or kiting around a Raven. It was the clowniest stuff ever, and you have no idea what's going to happen, and that's why it's beautiful. But in this format, it's all seasoned professionals, all people down to serious business. Everyone has their teams meticulously set up, and it's just the highest caliber of competition out there, and that's why they were invited, and that's why they're playing for these rare 150 skins. Like there aren't going to be any more of them ever made in the game. They're just 150 skins in the game. And before I ooze on about this even more, we can talk about it afterwards. This is the 3rd and 4th place match. This is the best of 5, like 5th of the best of 5, and both teams are ready. So
yes, we do have them on field and they are ready, but obviously once this is done, we'll have some discussion. So feel free to stick around. But if you've got things going on with your weekend and need to take off, don't forget the finals are tomorrow. So we're doing this all again tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 1900 is when it starts.
There we go. There's the pitch. So please be back and join us. Volta and Tuskers are going to put on a fantastic show, and if we're super lucky, we'll have another 5-match series. So again, congratulations to both of these teams. Thank you to everyone who put Party Arms in the chat. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed this. And we won't keep them in suspense any longer because I'm sure they're ready to get this over and done with. And with that, we'll send it to the arena. Bay, Archie, and Suetonia, good luck. Godspeed.